Day 6, Guard Gallivant. The historians use their fancy device again, this time to whisk you all the way to the North Pole Prototype Suit Manufacturing Lab in the year 1518. It turns out that having direct access to history is very convenient for a group of historians. You still have to be careful of time paradoxes, and so it will be important to avoid anyone from 1518 while the historians search for the chief. Unfortunately, a single guard is patrolling this part of the lab. Maybe you can work out where the guard will go ahead of time so that the historians can search safely. You start by making a map, your puzzle input, of the situation. For example, blah. So the guard is this little carrot character, and they are facing up. Any obstructions, crates, desks, alchemical reactors, etc. are shown with hashtag. Lab guards in 1518 follow a very strict patrol protocol, which involves repeatedly following these steps. If there is... Hello, Emperor Dragon. If there is something directly in front of you, turn right 90 degrees. Otherwise, take a step forward. Following the above protocol, the guard moves up until they hit a thing, then they turn right until they hit a thing. And they go round and round and round for a while. By predicting the guard's route, you can determine which specific positions in the lab will be in the patrol path, including the guard's starting position. The positions visited by the guard before leaving the area are marked with an X. In this example, the guard will visit 41 distinct positions on your map. Predict the path of the guard. How many distinct positions will the guard visit before leaving the mapped area? So, step 1 is going to be read everything in. However, line.split is not going to work in this case because we need all the dots. So we actually don't need to split the line, we'll just have the line. So we're going to have map is going to be a list of lists. And then we'll just do map.end line. So we'll have a list of strings. So we will index it, our vertical up and down coordinates, or our Y coordinate will be the, which list we're accessing, and then our X will be which character in the string. So I suppose step 1 is figure out where we're starting. Do we always start in an up position is my first question. Yes. We start in an up position. Okay. Guard boards. Right now we're going to make this. Are tuples mutable? Can I make this 0, 0? Hang on. Does this need to be list or? Tuples are immutable. Okay. So never mind, I will store that as a list. Hello, Mr. Incredible. How's it going? And Ember Dragon, how are you? How are people in chat today while I argue with my overly helpful IDE? Here we go. Check if this line contains the guard. Index character in enumerate line. Actually, wait. No. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I don't have to loop through it. I can just do line dot bind, I think. Is it find or get or something? Python string find. Finds the first occurrence of the specified value, returns -1 if the value is not found. The index message raises an exception if the index is not found. I don't need an exception. So that should just return 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. X is greater than -1. Then the guard coordinates are going to be XY. The file doesn't know how many lines it has. So Y in this case is going to be the length of map, which I just realized I can't use map. That's a protected word. It's a layout. There we go. Mr. Incredible, you're doing okay. Ember Dragon has snacking dates. I have non-alcoholic beer. It's actually decent. Just decent, you know? Like, real beer is better, but also good real beer is better. I've had better beer, but I've also had worse beer. Using map is legal, actually? I don't know, it was a slightly different color, so I'm just gonna go with layout because I know that's not a protected word. Ember Dragon, you've had a few good non-booze beers. This brand is actually pretty decent. I think this is the Sober Carpenter brand. I had a raspberry sour of theirs the other day. It was genuinely really good. I still have a cider waiting for me. I'll have that one tomorrow maybe. Or maybe I won't actually. I'll be at a performance all night. So I probably won't. Might have to wait for the weekend. Okay, so at this point, we have the map in a format we can use it. And we have the starting coordinates of our guard. So let's as just a little check right here, we're going to print guard coordinates to make sure we're reading this in properly. I'm not in the correct day. Okay, it says where's the guard starting at 4-7, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is slightly incorrect because I went with the length, not the length minus 1. Anyway, okay. But then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, okay. I want the length minus 1. Yeah, there we go. You should. I would be very much into some non-booze beers. I wish there was such a thing as, like, non-alcoholic whiskey, because mostly I like Scotch for the smell of it and, like, the memories that it brings back. And I like that association with it. I don't actually, like, necessarily want the alcohol, but also a large part of the flavor of the alcohol or the flavor of whiskey is the burn of the alcohol. So I don't know if it's actually possible to make non-alcoholic whiskey that's actually anything remotely like whiskey. But if it was possible, I would be very into that. Because I enjoy the drink, I do not enjoy being drunk. And also, you know, not so slowly poisoning your liver. Not a huge fan of that, but alcoholic drinks are good, you know? Okay, so we have the right starting position, and we know we're going up. I think I want an enum of directions. Is it enum? Oops. Let's enum. What's the syntax for an enum? Oh, do I have to fully make a class for this? Apparently I do. Okay. Fine. Enum import enum. Delete that line. Define this as up. Guess it doesn't really matter. right, this one down equals 2, and left equals 3. And then facing will be direction dot up to start. Okay. So let's do this in a while loop. Guard chords. I wonder if this would be easier as guard X and our guard Y. Might be slightly more concise, actually. Okay. We're gonna have guard X and guard Y. Guard X will equal X. Guard Y will equal the length of layout -1. Guard X. I'm also going to make myself a nice little function called inbounds XY. Which will return X greater than equal to 0 and X all these lines are the same length, hey? Yeah. Good, good. I mean, it makes sense. This isn't going to quite work. I'll figure that out in a second. And y also has to be greater than or equal to 0. Oh wait, we just need like the first line. Okay, y needs to be greater than or equal to 0. And y must be less than the length of layout, which I suppose I'll just pass in along with that. Inbounds, guard X, guard Y, and layout. We're also going to need to keep track of visited count, which I guess starts at 1. No, I think the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to have it start at 0. So the first thing we'll do is update visited count. And then, depending on what direction we're facing, we'll need to do some stuff. There's a Python switch. Python has a match. There we go. Match facing case direction dot up. We do a thing. Case direction dot right. Direction dot down. And at the very end, we'll print visited count. And just for sanity's sake, because that shouldn't happen. If it ever prints W2F, we have problems. All right. So for each direction, we're going to up the visited count. We're going to mark this location as visited. Oh. We don't necessarily want to do this at the very beginning. Don't necessarily want to do this at the very beginning, because what if we start on a square that we've already visited? Okay, hang on. Have we seen this before. If layout Y, X, guard Y, guard X, oh gosh, what? Get back over here. But I just thought of a reason why that might not work. Because right after we rotate, we still haven't moved. Actually, no, this will still work. So I'm going to use the system of marking visited locations with X's. So if I check if the space I'm on, if it's not an X, then I will up my visited count and mark it as an X. And then it doesn't matter if all I do on this turn is to rotate. If all I do on this turn is rotate, that's fine, because then on the next turn I will see that it's an X and I won't count it. Okay, so now I need to... the direction that I'm facing, I need to try to move in that direction. But if it's a hashtag, I just rotate. So I will move. Moving up will keep my X the same, but it will subtract 1 from my Y. And I will write this function move in just a second. Moving right will be a +1 on that, nothing on the Y. Moving down will add 1 to the Y. And moving left will subtract 1 from the X. And leave the Y alone. Move X, Y. I guess I'll take layout as well. That'll just make my life easier. Actually, I just take all that and like dump it up there. Do I need layout in here? Because I kind of feel like I don't, because then it's just global. Okay, and this will take care of setting guard X and a guard Y. So if layout by X is that, rotate right. Or I guess rotate clockwise, which is going to just go facing is going to be facing +1. Mod 4? There's 4 things in there, right? Yeah. Yeah, so we add 1 to facing and then mod by 4 to get something that's in the direction enum. Else guard X equals X and guard Y equals Y. So it'll try to move, and if it can't move, then it'll rotate right. And while it's still in bounds, we check if we've seen the spot. And if we haven't, then we update the count and set the spot. Let's see if this spits out something reasonable. Oops. Old print statement. Don't need that. Stir object does not support item assignment. Rude. Okay. There's a, I think, Python string replace, I think? No, I want to replace a specific replace, is it like replace at? Strings are immutable. Just create a new string which includes the value at the desired index. Rude. Okay, so we can't do it like that. We have to do it like layout guard Y, which gives us a string, which is now going to be from the beginning up to this point. Plus X. Plus. This is ugly. Guard X plus 1 to the end. Ugh, it's ugly. It's ugly. I don't like it. Okay, so the string at this spot is the beginning up to this point. Then we replace the spot with X and concatenate the rest of the string to the end. It's ugly. It's really ugly. I'm sure there's got to be a nicer way to do that. Ooh, okay, well, it's doing something. I'm gonna see if there's a nicer way to do that. This is taking its sweet time on the input, and I feel like that's incorrect. This isn't the real input. Oh, I never changed my facing direction, that's why. No, yes I do, yes I do. I change it in move. Yeah. Okay. At the end of each of these, I'm going to print visited count and make sure that's actually changing. That's never changing, that's why. Okay. Hello, Lieutenant Wheels. How's it going? I am quite certain I've done something stupid. I've done a stupid. Does this ever do anything different? No. Okay, I've done a big stupid somewhere. Maybe it's a scoping problem. Guard X and guard Y should be different after this, right? Like if I change this down here. I have to return the new guard X. Oh, that would do it. Would do it. Silly scoping problems. Okay, so this is easy enough to just return X, Y, because those are valid. How do I want this to return the orientation, though? Because this is going to have the same problem. What makes the most sense? Because I can't just return XY here because they're not valid. Also, are these even accessing the correct thing? I guess we've never got to this point because we're not actually moving anywhere. Okay. I'm so certain there's a way to force Python to do this. I want to set the global variable. This will work. If you want to change a global variable inside a function, so that would mean I'd have to guard X and global guard Y. This feels scummy and I don't like it, but if it makes it work, aha! It does. Yes, it does. The numbers are changing. This is good. Ah. I was really hoping that since this is internally stored as integers, I was really hoping that this would work. But apparently that doesn't work. I thought I was being so clever. Oh, this is a class. I can literally just write like a next. I could just write like a. And this could be where I return self.value plus 1 all modded by 4. And maybe that works. Haha. Now we're getting a lot of what the fucks. Okay. Okay, what's at 4-1 that we're getting stuck at? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Absolutely nothing. We just have an invalid direction. Okay, guard X, guard Y, and facing. We don't need to print that there. What are we doing? Let's try this. Okay, okay. Let's go examine this. We're going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going up, 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 up. So we hit here with direction up. So moving is working. Rotating is not. Let's try that. Ah. Okay, but we're rotating now. This is good. Now there's a part... Oh, of course. There's a chance that we could move out of bounds. Okay, so if inbounds XY and it's that, there we go. That actually works, and we get 41, which I believe is what we're supposed to get, 41 distinct positions. Sweet. Okay. So let's change it out for our test input. And see how that goes. Looks like we wandered off the... facing left. Yeah. Looks like we wandered off the left edge of the map on line 121. But we got a very reasonable 5,086. Yeah! We did it! Fantastic. All right, this is an excellent moment to take a little ad break. So I'm going to set up for part 2 and run a couple minutes of ads so we don't get pre-rolls turned back on. So everybody get up and stretch, grab some water, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes for part 2. While historians begin working around the guard's patrol route, you borrow their fancy device and step outside the lab. From the safety of a supply closet, you time travel through the last few months and record the nightly status of the lab's guard post on the walls of the closet. Returning after what seems like only a few seconds to the historians, they explain that the guard's patrol area is simply too large for them to safely search the lab without getting caught. Fortunately, they are pretty sure that adding a single new obstruction won't cause a time paradox. They'd like to place the new obstruction in such a way that the guard will get stuck in a loop, making the rest of the lab safe to search. To have the lowest chance of creating a time paradox, the historians would like to know all of the possible positions for such an obstruction. The new obstruction can't be placed at the guard's starting position. The guard is there right now and would notice. In the above example, there are only 6 different positions where a new obstruction would cause the guard to get stuck in a loop. The diagrams of these 6 situations use 0 to mark the new obstruction, pipe to show a position where the guard moves up or down, and hyphen for left-right, and plus to show a position where the guard moves in both directions. Option 1, putting a printing press next to the guard's starting position. Option 2, put a stack of failed suit prototypes in the bottom right quadrant. Okay. There's some options. It doesn't really matter what you choose to use as an obstacle, so long as you and the historians can put it into position without the guard noticing. The important thing is having enough options that you can find one that minimizes time paradoxes, and in this example, there are 6 different positions you could choose. You need to get the guard stuck in a loop by adding a single new obstruction. How many different positions could you choose for this obstruction? Oof. So by changing one thing, get stuck in a loop. Oh boy. Okay. So I need to know how many positions there are, right? How many different positions are there where I can add one obstruction and create a loop? Okay, well, I guess the first problem is how do we detect a loop? Because it's not just have we been in this spot before. How do we detect a loop? I suppose if we hit the same position with the same... If we hit a position we've already seen with an orientation we've already seen, then we're going to go down the same path again. If we hit the same position with a different orientation, we are not yet stuck in a loop. Okay, so I need to change how I'm storing the positions we've been to. This is going to be a dictionary. I guess keyed on XY and stored on storing the direction. So this is not what we need.
You believe in ghosts, Buck?
There's a snazzy way of doing this. Visited. Is visited. Visited. There we go. I can spell visited. Can I key it on tuples? Guard X, guard Y. And if you can't get it, I would like a none. Victory is yours. I have an edge round to do and this blanket is done. Fantastic. I may create some drama with my my thing for that. Why did you choose Python? Because it's readable and has lots of nice libraries and I know how to use it and it's nice. If I was really interested in learning stuff, I would have challenged myself with Rust. But I decided I didn't want to be that serious about it and I was just going to use a language I already know. What do I want to call this? So this is going to be, I don't know. Visited orientation? That's not what I want. I guess, actually, we want this to be false. Okay. So we try to find the key in our dictionary that has the X, Y coordinates with this direction that we're facing, and if we can't find it, get false. Oh, wait. Except we actually want to do that up here. And then... Oh dear, also drama, drama, drama. Yeah. You know, it's not the week right before Christmas if there's not some drama. If we have not seen the spot before, increase the visited count. Although we don't actually care about the visited count at this point. And visited list. Keyed with the tuple guard X, guard Y, and facing will become true. Or we have visited this XY coordinate with this direction. We don't actually care about visited count anymore, so we can get rid of that. Now, so then keep trying to move, so that's fine. But if we have seen this spot before, been here facing this direction before, therefore we're in a loop. And then we're gonna have to make this all into a function that we can call over and over. We're gonna have to write some kind of function to change up the input. Okay, so we've got it so it can detect loops, which just for testing's sake, I'm going to put back my test data. That's... I expect loop count to stay at 0. It should never loop back on itself. List get Carnix. What now? Like, yeah, that's empty, so... I'm a doofus. If not that, there we go. Yep, there we go. Yeah, loop count 0. Okay, good. Okay, so we have that part working. So now we need some code to iteratively change one symbol in the map and test for loops. There was a nice way in a previous day, there was some library about taking combinations of things. What day was that? No, that was the regex day. Was it this day? No. Was it like back at day 2? Combinations. That was it. Eldon, how's day 6 part 2 coming along? Pretty good. I'm 90% sure I can detect loops. So now I just need to write the code to try putting an obstruction in every single position and count how many loops I can generate by adding one single obstruction. And I think combinations might be the answer. Combinations with replacement returns R-length tuples in sorted order with repeated elements. No, maybe this is not what I want. No. No, because I just want to replace one character each time. And there's probably an efficient way of doing that. probably an efficient way of doing that. But I think I'm just gonna have to go through and replace one character each time and just let it run and see if it finds loops. All right. Oh, and loop count. That means we can make that a little bit nicer. Take that out of there. Pop that there. Do that. Okay, that's a little bit prettier. I have never used the global keyword before in my life, but you know what? It's a programming puzzle, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, wait. But I'm going to use a local version of layout because I need to change the layout each time. Okay, so oh no, I ran out of space for this recording. That's upsetting. Wait, everybody hang on a second. Am I seriously out of hard drive space? Ah, look at that. Wow, that really doesn't help now, does it? Hang on, hang on. Hold that thought. Let's try that. Well, that's gonna be fun to piece together as recording. It's fine. Anyway, that's just gonna clean up like 9 gigabytes, which I'm sure it will be perfectly capable of doing while I'm using the computer. I'm sure it'll be fine. There we go. Now I have like 8 gigabytes left. Let's just hit that record button again. There we go. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Actually, I don't need to do in length. For each row. For I in enumerate layout row. We want to do this ugly thing. Or a variation thereof. Layout row is gonna do that, and we'll just change that into a that. Does this mean that we will replace some of the existing obstacles? Yes. Although actually I could add a couple of checks to avoid that, and also the starting position. Assuming layout row I does not equal, does not already equal that, and layout row I, oops, that is not how I want that. Does not equal our starting guy. Then we can replace the character with doodad. And then we can run it with layout. Although the way I'm currently doing this, I am modifying the original data. And I don't think I want to do that. No, we'll just roll with it, and we'll put it back after. Which means this needs layout. Don't need to pass that in. And we can put it back the way it was. And in theory, that will run this, slowly changing out every single character, or changing out each character one at a time, to be a new obstruction. And if we detect a loop, we update our loop counter and print that at the end. This is probably going to take 1 trillion years if I print everything out, but... Oh. Oh, I don't need to do layout row. I can just do row. And 76. Yeah. I fixed it. Oh. And I don't need to enumerate row now. I can just do length row -1. Because row is just a string. And range, yes? Okay, we don't need that. I'm going to print row. Print I. Okay. Is changing... Changing row is not changing it in layout. This is a scoping problem. Which means row is going to be a copy of the original, which means I can do layout Y equals this row modification, and then I don't think I have to put it back at the end. No, I totally do. No, I totally do. Totally do. Fudge. All right, what is this doing each time? Okay. So, like, it is doing it. Oh, it's not doing it all the way to the end, though. Yeah. So it's... Oh. No, yeah, because that's the same row over and over again. And it's skipping over things properly, and it's leaving the original obstructions where they are. Oh, okay. So it's doing the right thing here. Can I straight up print layout? Will this just give me a mess? Probably. But it is, like, moving. So it is changing. So that's working. It is actually going through stuff, right? Yeah. Maybe my loop detection is wrong. I guess if that's always false, that'll do it. Does that not work the way that I thought? Returns none. Perhaps not index on tuples. Is that my issue? I don't need to zip and unzip. I can just like straight up set it. Okay, how about this? Dot keys. How about that? Okay, how about... Guard X, guard Y, facing not in, visited list dot keys. Am I just trying to be too fancy about this? Am I trying to make Python do things that it doesn't want to do? I think that might be what's happening. Tuple in list. Should this not work? This seems like it should work. I am using the in keyword. But I want an entire comparison. It's the entire tuple that I'm looking for. Not searching for an item in a bunch of tuples, I'm searching for whether the tuples are equal. Okay, at any point, because we're starting position is 4, 6, right? So we start 4, 6, direction dot up should be our starting position. at some point, that should print true. Okay. Yeah, so it's false on the very first thing, but then it's true after that. So if I change this out to be like 0, 0. I expect this also to print true a bunch of times. Yeah, because we never go to 0, 0. Okay, so what stupid am I doing then? There is no way we're visiting entirely unique positions here. Okay, and we are printing go a whole bunch of times. So, like, what incredibly stupid thing am I doing? I'm adding a character to the row. I checked that. That's happening. Running the thing. Okay. And just for sanity, I'm gonna break after that. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not resetting my visited list each time is part of the issue. Okay, we'll put the row back. But then... Not in move, but in da 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 da. We need to store start X and start Y. The layout's reset, but then guard X equals start X, guard Y equals start Y, visited list, it's reset, and facing gets reset to up. Watch that work better. God damn it. Oh, right, but I still have my break in here. Please? Oh, oh, oh! 6 is the correct answer for the test input. 6 is the correct answer for the test input. Okay. Oh, this is gonna take a hot second. This is gonna take a hot second. I should have left a print line in here to know that it was actually working. 'Cause that's 130 by 130. Minus some stuff. This is an n squared algorithm, it is. It'll have to run eventually, right? Let's run a little ad break, and we'll see if it's done when we come back. So everybody take 5, get up, stretch, get some water, and we'll be back to see if this finished. Okay. It finished running like a minute into the ad break, and I've been patiently, not patiently at all, waiting to see if 1770 is the correct answer. Yeah! Okay. And thus ends Advent of Code Day 6. We did it. And by we, well, moral support. Chat helps. Chat helps. Alright, I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit. That's actually about as good as it's gonna get. Oh. Day 6. Push the code, I say. There we go. Alright. If you want to look at my ever so beautiful code, You can check it out on my GitHub. I feel accomplished. So very, very accomplished. I need to take a screenshot of this for the VOD thumbnail. There we go. Well, now what? Now what, chat? I guess we should go raid somebody. Do I want to look at day... I'm gonna look at day 7. I'm gonna look at day 7. Oh, this is so short to read. Okay. We're not gonna do day 7. I just want to read it so I can think about it before I have to do this in public. The historians take you to familiar rope bridge. Reference to 2022 day 9. Familiar rope bridge over a river in the middle of a jungle. The chief isn't on this side of the bridge, though. Maybe he's on the other side? When you go to cross the bridge, you notice a group of engineers trying to repair it. Apparently it breaks pretty frequently. You won't be able to cross until it's fixed. You ask how long it'll take. The engineers tell you that it only needs final calibrations, but some young elephants were playing nearby and stole all the operators from their calibration equations. They could finish the calibrations if only someone could determine which test values could possibly be produced by placing any combination of operators into their calibration equations. Each line represents a single equation. The test value appears before the colon in each line. It's your job to determine whether the remaining numbers can be combined with operators to produce the test value. Operators are always evaluated left to right, not according to precedence rules. Furthermore, numbers in the equations cannot be rearranged. Glancing into the jungle, you can see elephants holding up 2 different types of operators. Add and multiply. Only 3 of the above equations can be made true by inserting operators. So the first one has only one position that accepts an operator between 10 and 19. Choosing plus would give 29, but choosing multiply would give the test value 190. The next line has 2 positions for operators. Of the 4 possible configurations, operators 2 cause the right side to match the test value. Okay. The engineers just need the total calibration result, which is the sum of the test values from just the equations that could possibly be true. In the above example, the sum of the test values for the 3 equations listed above is 3000 blah blah blah. Okay. That sounds like a lot of text manipulation. No, not even too bad. Split things on spaces, chop off the colon, turn them all into numbers. And then you have to try every combination of plus and multiply between each of the numbers to see if you can make them equal this number. Not sure about the algorithm for trying every multiplication or every combination of plus and multiply, but the rest of it is rather straightforward. Anyway, we're not going to get into that now because it is after midnight and I need to go to bed. So thank you everybody for hanging out. I have socials. I have a Discord where I post my sporadic streaming schedule for the next couple of weeks because it's Christmas and I have an actual schedule over Christmas. You know, people just come in and trample all over your streaming schedule. So I will stream when I can, but I don't know when that's gonna be. But come hang out in the Discord. We'll have fun anyway. In the meantime, we should go raid somebody. I am open to suggestions. but I'm feeling like somebody in software and game development. I'd love to do some more Advent code, but I don't want to spoil anything for myself. Oh, there's somebody else doing Advent of Code Day 5+. We could go watch them. They've only been on for an hour and a half, so they... Unless they're super efficient, I probably won't get spoiled. Or do we just, like, hop into the big stream? What are the big streamers in this category right now? Oh, we could go raid Adam C. Eunice again. Maybe we'll just go do that. Who's building a neat little game? And by little, I mean it's actually a massive undertaking. Yeah, let's do that. We'll go jump over to some game dev. Start the raid. All right. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks for putting up with the sporadic nature of the stream schedule. I have no regular streaming schedule for like two and a half weeks. God. So truly, join the Discord and I will post if I can stream and when that's going to be. Because I truly don't know at the moment. It might be stolen moments in the guest room at the in-laws. Anyway. Feel strong. Nice. Anyway. I should have a better outro for this. God, I'm tired. Sorry. First time chatter. Hi. I apparently can't read your name right now. We're about to go raid Adam. So I'm gonna pop on some credits and I'm gonna say bye, everybody.